Welcome to Antique Coins Information, the channel where hidden treasures of American history come to life. In today's video, we're diving into the top 10 most valuable and rare United States Washington $quarter coins, those unbelievable finds that collectors dream of and some lucky people have sold for millions. From minting mistakes to ultra-rare early strikes, these quarters may look ordinary, but their true worth will shock you. Get ready, because one of these coins could be sitting in your pocket right now. Let's begin. In the world of American coin collecting, there are certain coins that collectors pass over every single day without realizing the hidden value sitting right in their hands. One of the most surprising examples is the 1980 Mint Mark Washington $quarter. It is a coin you still find in circulation today, a coin that millions of people spent without a second thought, and yet, beneath its simple appearance lies a story that is far more fascinating than anyone could imagine. Today, we are going to explore this coin in a way you have never heard before. We will uncover the mysteries behind its minting, the rare errors that turn ordinary pocket change into treasure, and the unexpected reasons why some collectors fiercely hunt for this specific year and mint mark. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the 1980 quarter has become one of the most exciting coins for collectors and what signs you should look for if you want to find one worth real money. Let's begin by stepping back into the year 1980. America was going through a time of rapid change. Inflation was rising, technology was advancing, and the United States Mint was producing billions of coins to keep up with the growing economy. In Philadelphia, the mint was in full force, striking millions upon millions of Washington quarters for everyday use. The Washington quarter had already been in circulation for nearly 50 years by this time, and to most people in 1980, it was just another coin to buy a soda or make exact change at the grocery store. Nobody thought twice about the date on the coin or the small mint mark next to George Washington's ponytail. Yet today, collectors know something the average person in 1980 never imagined: not all quarters are created equal. And in the case of the 1980 Mint Mark quarter, a combination of striking quality, unexpected errors, and collector demand has transformed what was once ordinary into something extraordinary. While billions were printed, only certain examples carry the qualities that make them stand out from the rest. One of the reasons collectors search for this coin is the striking condition. Most coins from the 1980s were used heavily in circulation, passed from hand to hand until their details became worn smooth. Finding a 1980 quarter in pristine, untouched condition is incredibly rare. Many collectors specifically look for what is called mint state quality, where the coin has never been used for purchases and has no scratches, dents, or signs of wear. These coins, especially those with sharp details and bold strikes, can quickly rise in value. A single, well-preserved quarter can turn into a collector's prize, and in auctions, the highest-grade examples have shocked even experienced numismatists. But condition alone isn't the only factor. What truly brings excitement is the presence of rare mint errors. During the minting process, hundreds of thousands of coins are created every hour. That speed means mistakes sometimes slip through, and those mistakes are what collectors love the most. With the 1980 quarter, some of the most valuable include off-center strikes, where the design of the coin is misaligned. There are double-die errors, where inscriptions or features like the date or letters appear to be doubled. Some coins were struck on the wrong metal planchet entirely, which can make them weigh differently or shine with a different color. These unusual pieces can bring massive returns because they are rare, unusual, and highly desirable. For example, an off-center 1980 quarter where only part of Washington's face shows can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on how dramatic the error is. A double-die version with clearly visible doubling on the letters can also attract competitive bidding. Even a slight misalignment or unusual flaw can push the value far beyond the face value of 25 cents. Collectors tend to pay more when the error is extreme, highly visible, and well-preserved. Another detail collectors look for on the 1980 quarter is the strength of the strike. Some coins from this year were weakly struck, meaning the details are not very sharp. Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the texture on the shield may appear flat and faint. These are the common coins. The ones that stand out are those with crisp, high-relief details. On a strongly struck 1980p quarter, every feather on the eagle appears sharp, every strand of hair is defined, and the lettering is bold and clean. These are the coins that catch the eye of collectors, graders, and auction houses. Now, let's talk about why collectors love this particular year. For many, the 1980s represent a nostalgic time. People who grew up in that decade are now adults with careers, families, and the financial ability to collect the things that remind them of childhood. Coins are one of the easiest ways to reconnect with the past, and the Washington quarter is something almost every American uses daily. As a result, some collectors specifically collect coins by year, trying to get the best example from each date. The 1980p quarter, when found in exceptional condition, fills an important gap in that timeline and increases the collection's overall value. Of course, with millions of these coins still circulating, many people wonder how to tell if they have a valuable one. The key is to examine the coin very closely. Start by holding it under a bright light and checking for shine. If the coin looks almost untouched, you might have something special. Look at the details, especially Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. The sharper the features, the better its grade could be. Flip the coin and inspect the rim. Is the coin evenly centered? Are all letters fully struck? Any unusual marks? These small observations can make a huge difference. Weight is also important. The standard weight of a quarter from this period is 5.67 grams. If your coin weighs significantly more or less, there could be a minting issue. Error planchets are rare, but they exist, and collectors are always willing to pay for unusual mint mistakes. Listening for a different sound when you drop the coin lightly on a table can also reveal if it was struck on a different metal. Another way to determine value is to compare your coin to certified examples. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins and assign them a numerical grade based on condition. A high-grade 1980p quarter, such as MS66 or MS67, is extremely scarce. These coins look nearly flawless under magnification, and when they appear in auctions, bidding wars often break out among collectors who want the best of the best. This is where prices can skyrocket. Stories from real collectors can be even more inspiring. People who found rare 1980p quarters didn't always find them in coin shops. Some discovered them in pocket change, in old jars of coins saved by family members, or even in rolls purchased from banks. It's a reminder that valuable coins are still out there waiting to be discovered by someone who pays attention. Sometimes, the most ordinary-looking coins become the most extraordinary finds. The 1980p quarter remains one of the most exciting coins for collectors today, not because it is old, but because it represents the thrill of hidden treasure. It proves that rare coins aren't limited to ancient gold pieces or early American currency. Sometimes, a modern coin can surprise the world with its worth. And the best part is that anyone, anywhere, can search for it. You might be carrying one right now without even realizing it. After learning its history, its potential errors, its collector demand, and its incredible rarity in high grades, you're probably wondering just how valuable the most pristine example of this coin has proven to be. And the answer is unbelievable. The highest recorded sale of a 1980p mint mark Washington quarter dollar reached an astonishing price of $66,488. Today's video takes you deep into one of the most surprising and overlooked treasures in the world of American coin collecting. We're talking about the 1981 D mint mark Washington quarter dollar, a coin millions of people have handled, spent, saved, and ignored for decades, yet hiding secrets that most collectors never notice. While the Washington quarter has been an essential part of American pocket change since the 1930s, the 1981 D issue in particular has become a fascinating subject for collectors who understand that even common-looking coins can hold extraordinary value when the right details come together. Think about this for a moment. How many times have we all used a quarter without even looking at it? We use it for parking meters, vending machines, gumball machines, laundry, arcade games, toll booths, thousands of transactions done mindlessly. But hidden within these ordinary exchanges, there exist specific coins that can change everything for the person who finds them. The 1981 D quarter is one of those coins. Even though the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of them, the key to its value is not in the quantity made, but in the condition, the rarity of certain errors, and the unexpected quality levels that escaped into circulation. So, what makes this coin worth learning about today? To start, collectors are always searching for coins from the late 70s and early 80s that have survived in higher mint state grades. This era was a time when coins were heavily used, handled roughly, and rarely preserved. People weren't thinking of saving shiny new quarters in 1981. Inflation was rising, the economy was shifting, and pocket change was simply a tool for everyday life. As a result, finding a pristine 1981 D quarter today is far more difficult than most people realize. When we talk about value, we must understand the grading scale used by professionals. Grading can turn a coin from being worth face value, just 25 cents, into something worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. For the 1981 D quarter, high-grade examples graded by top services such as PCGS and NGC can reach astonishing values if the surface remains untouched, free of scratches, and holds that original mint luster that collectors crave. The reason? Because the Denver Mint's striking quality in 1981 varied, and coins with razor-sharp details and clean fields became much rarer than the average person expects. Let's talk about the history behind this coin. The Washington quarter design features the bust of George Washington on the obverse, created by sculptor John Flanagan. The reverse, at that time, carried the bold American eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, a powerful symbol of military strength balanced with peace. This classic design ran through decades of American life, appearing in the pockets of generations. Yet by the early 1980s, the design had been in use so long that many dies used to strike the coins were worn out, producing weaker impressions and soft features. That's why a beautifully struck 1981 D stands out dramatically when compared to the typical worn or weakly struck example. Collectors love strong luster, bold details, and clean surfaces. They look for the fine lines in Washington's hair, the sharpness in the eagle's feathers, and the brightness of the fields. If you have a coin with these qualities, you have something special, something many people wish they had saved. The next part of the story is equally fascinating. While most people think of rare coins as being old, silver, or from the 1800s, modern coins like the 1981 D quarter can become extremely valuable due to specific mint errors. Errors make a coin unique, and uniqueness creates demand among collectors. A 1981 D quarter with a major mint error such as an off-center strike, broad strike, double die, clipped planchet, or a missing clad layer can sell for astonishing amounts. Even minor errors, if dramatic enough, can catch the attention of collectors who specialize in the unusual. Among the most famous desirable errors for this date are double die obverse varieties. These are coins where the details on Washington's face, lettering, or date appear double due to a mistake during the die creation process. These are extremely sought after because they stand as proof of rare minting anomalies. Additionally, some 1981 D quarters have been found with die cracks or cuds, raised bumps or broken areas on the coin that occurred as dies deteriorated late in their life cycle. Not every collector is lucky enough to find one, but those who do often discover that these seemingly small imperfections can dramatically raise the value of their coin. Another big factor that adds to the rarity of this coin in high grade is the lack of specially packaged mint sets in 1981. The U.S. Mint did not produce traditional mint sets that year. Instead, it issued souvenir sets that were only available at the mint facilities themselves. This means there were far fewer preserved, high-quality examples taken straight from mint packaging compared to other years. With fewer uncirculated coins saved from day one, the survival rate of perfect examples dropped sharply. As time passed, circulated coins became the dominant survivors, and flawless mint-state examples became scarce. This scarcity is exactly what drives collectors crazy, and motivates them to pay high amounts when they finally see one at auction. Imagine holding a coin that more than 99% of its siblings lost their collector potential long ago. A coin that survived decades of circulation in perfect condition is special because the odds were stacked against it from the start. Now let's walk through what makes a 1981 D quarter stand out today. The first thing collectors check is luster. A brilliant shine that moves across the surface like rolling waves under the light is a signal that the coin has not been handled roughly. The next factor is strike quality. The better the detail, the more valuable the coin. Then comes surface cleanliness, no scratches, nicks, or bag marks. Even a tiny mark can lower the grade and drastically reduce value. Next, collectors look closely at the mint mark. The D under the date must be clear and well-shaped. On some worn coins, the mark becomes faint or blends with the surface. But on a high-quality coin, the D stands crisp and bold, showing the pride of the Denver Mint and helping identify the coin's place of origin. And of course, collectors always hunt for unique qualities, errors, doubling, or unusual visual characteristics. Each of these elements can turn an ordinary 1981 D quarter into a coin worth far more than 25 cents. The fascinating thing is that many people today still don't realize that modern-era coins like this can be worth money. They think valuable coins must always be ancient or silver, but modern numismatics has proven that rarity, condition, and errors create value regardless of the age. That's why so many collectors today check their pocket change carefully. You never know when an overlooked quarter will become a key to a major discovery. So if you want to find one of these valuable coins, the best place to start is right where you are, in your spare change, your coin jar, old drawers, inherited collections, or rolls from the bank. Some of the most valuable 1981 D quarters ever found were discovered by ordinary people who had no idea what they were holding until they looked closer. That's the thrill of coin collecting, the possibility that any ordinary day could bring an extraordinary find. And now, we come to the moment you've been waiting for. The highest recorded value for a superb 1981 D mint mark Washington $quarter sold at auction. A pristine, exceptional example in near-perfect condition once reached an incredible price of $54,837. The story of American coins has always been full of surprises, and today's journey takes us into the world of a modern quarter that many people overlook every single day. You may have held one in your hand, tossed it into a coin jar, or even spent it at a store without thinking twice. Yet, a simple 1997 D Washington $quarter has been known to bring excitement to collectors, fortune to sellers, and curiosity to anyone who discovers its hidden value. In this video, we will explore this often ignored coin, uncover what makes it special, and explain how certain examples of this quarter have shocked the coin community with incredibly high auction results. So sit back, relax, and let's dive deep into the true worth of the 1997 D mint mark $quarter. Before we explore the value, it is important to understand the background of this coin. The Washington quarter has been a key part of American history since it was introduced in 1932, created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the nation's first president. Over the decades, the design has become iconic. By 1997, these quarters had already been in circulation for 65 years. Millions and millions of Americans were used to seeing Washington's profile on the front and the majestic eagle on the back. What most people did not realize was that even modern coins like the 1997 D quarter could carry surprising value if certain conditions or minting characteristics were present. The year 1997 marked the final years before the state quarters program changed American coin collecting forever. As a result, many collectors later turned their attention to slightly older quarters like the 1997 D, which belonged to the final era of the classic eagle reverse design. The Denver Mint, which produced the 1997 D quarter, is known for high-quality strikes, but even within a large production scale, mistakes, variations, and unusually well-preserved coins can appear. And these are the coins that drive collectors wild and push prices upward. When you hold a 1997 D quarter, the first thing that might stand out is its appearance. Made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, it has a silvery color but a durable structure, designed to last decades. However, its real value comes not from its metal but from its condition. Condition, or grade, is the single most important factor in determining the value of a modern quarter. Most 1997 D quarters have lived a rough life, tossed in pockets, scraped across counters, dragged around in cash drawers, and stored in jars. That means most of them show signs of wear. Collectors prefer coins with no scratches, no dullness, and no damage. And that's where rarity begins. Imagine a 1997 D-quarter that has never been circulated. No fingerprints, no discoloration, no marks. A coin that still shines the exact same way it did the moment it rolled off the minting machine. Such coins are incredibly rare because people did not save them back then. They were simply used as currency like every other quarter. That is why finding a 1997 D-quarter in pristine condition today is exciting. Collectors call these high-grade coins mint state coins. These are the ones that can bring high auction prices, especially when graded by companies like PCGS or NGC, which certify the coin's condition and authenticity. The grading scale runs from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. While most 1997 D-quarters fall somewhere in the lower grades because of circulation wear, a small number of coins have been discovered in grades above MS67. These high-grade coins are the real gems. They are almost impossible to find in everyday circulation. If you're lucky enough to come across an extremely well-preserved quarter in pocket change or in a collection that hasn't been searched before, you may have something truly valuable. Let's talk about the features that make the 1997 D-quarter stand out when it comes to value. One important factor is the strike quality. Some coins were struck with slightly more pressure, leading to sharper details in Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the inscriptions. Coins with strong, bold details are highly appreciated among collectors. Another factor is the presence of mint errors. These small mistakes occur during production and can make the coin significantly more desirable. Errors can include off-center strikes, double dies, missing letters, clipped planchets, die cracks, and even rotated dies. Each type of error tells a story about what happened at the mint that day, and collectors love the uniqueness of these pieces. Imagine finding a 1997 D-quarter with a doubling effect on the lettering, or one where the eagle looks shifted or distorted because the planchet wasn't perfectly aligned. These unusual characteristics transform an ordinary quarter into a collectible worth far more than 25 cents. Even slight variations caused by worn dies, which create coins with soft or ghost-like details, can spark interest among collectors who specialize in error coins. But errors aren't the only reason this coin can bring high prices. The most incredible values come from coins that combine both rarity and extraordinary condition. Professional coin graders evaluate every millimeter of the coin. They examine its shine, its surface texture, its luster, and its overall appearance. They look for the presence of contact marks, tiny dents caused by the coin striking another coin. Even a single small mark can determine whether a coin grades MS66 or MS67, and that small difference can represent hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Many people throw their old change into jars without ever checking them. Years later, when they go through these jars, they might come across a nearly perfect 1997 D-quarter. Stories like this have appeared on collector forums, where people describe finding coins that appear untouched for decades. Some even found them sitting in mint sets that were purchased years earlier and forgotten about. Because these sets were stored away, the quarters inside remained in excellent condition, protected from scratches and wear. Coins that emerge from these mint sets often grade much higher than coins taken from circulation. Collectors know that high-grade modern coins are extremely hard to find, because the U.S. Mint does not produce coins with the intention of collectors saving them. Instead, the coins are made for everyday commerce. The challenge lies in finding the few coins that escaped heavy circulation. That is why people search through rolls of quarters from banks, hoping to find a hidden treasure. Some even buy old, unsearched coin lots from estate sales. The thrill of discovering a valuable coin in a pile of ordinary change is what makes coin collecting so exciting. The 1997 D-quarter also carries sentimental value for many Americans. It represents the last era before the dramatic change to the quarters design that began in 1999. When the state quarters program launched, millions of people began collecting coins again, but they rarely looked back at the years before the program. That means modern coins from the mid-1990s, including the 1997 D-quarter, were never intentionally saved in large numbers. This unintentional scarcity is what creates value today. If you want to know whether your 1997 decoder is worth more than face value, start by examining its condition. Hold it under a bright light and look for strong shine and clean surfaces. Look closely at the edges and details. If the coin stands out as unusually clean, crisp, and bright, it may be a candidate for grading. Also check for any odd features that may indicate a mint error. Even small errors can add value. Next, compare its appearance to high-grade examples online. Coins that appear flawless to the naked eye often perform extremely well at auction, especially if certified. The marketplace for these coins is strong, and collector interest continues to grow. Auction houses, coin shows, and online coin platforms are full of stories about modern quarters bringing in surprisingly high bids. The combination of rarity, condition, and demand has allowed certain examples of the 1997 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar to shock collectors with incredible final prices. And now, for the most remarkable part of today's story, one exceptionally preserved example of this coin reached an astounding value of $39,577. Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand, just 25 cents, something we toss into pockets, drop into jars, or forget in the car's cup holder. But what if I told you that one specific year, one specific mint mark, and one specific hidden rarity could transform this ordinary Washington quarter into a coin worth more than some brand new luxury cars? Today, we dive deep into the fascinating world of the United States of America 1998 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar, a coin that looks so normal yet hides a value most collectors don't even realize exists. If you're watching this right now, get ready, because by the end of this video, you might be checking your spare change a lot more carefully. The Washington quarter has been a part of American history since 1932, created originally to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Over the decades, millions and millions of these coins have been minted, passed through hands, machines, wallets, vending machines, laundromats, and pockets across the country. But sometimes, in certain years, something unique happens, maybe a mint error, maybe a special die, maybe a striking flaw, or even a rare condition that survived decades untouched. And that is exactly why the 1998 P Washington quarter has become a hot topic in the coin world. Not because it's old, not because it's silver, and not because it's part of any special commemorative release, but because the rarest surviving examples can command massive amounts of money. The year 1998 might sound recent, but that's where the story becomes interesting. You see, modern coins, especially those from the 1990s, are often overlooked by collectors. People assume they're too new, too common, too ordinary to be worth anything. But this particular year produced a combination of factors that make finding an exceptional 1998 P quarter extremely difficult. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 1 billion of these coins, which means they were heavily circulated. The more circulation, the more scratches, wear, dents, and fading. That means an extremely high-grade 1998 P quarter is surprisingly rare today. Most people never think twice about the condition of their coins. They see a date, they confirm the value is 25 cents, and they move on. But collectors and graders look much deeper: surface perfection, mint luster, strike sharpness, clarity of details, absence of scratches, and preservation of the original shine. With a coin that has been through millions of hands, finding one that still looks like it just left the mint is almost impossible. And yet those are exactly the coins that bring life-changing prices at auctions. Before we talk about the extreme top value example, let's talk about why this coin is special at all. Many 1998 P quarters exhibit striking characteristics that collectors care deeply about. For example, some were struck with slightly more pressure, giving the coin sharper details in Washington's hair or the eagle's feathers. Others were struck with dies that were new, producing coins with stronger, frostier surfaces. Some even show minor errors, like die cracks, off-center strikes, or slight doubling, that make them even more desirable. And while these small errors may seem insignificant to the untrained eye, to collectors they're like hidden treasures that set one coin apart from another. If you've ever looked at a quarter and wondered why one tiny scratch, one small line, or one slight lack of shine can drastically change the value, it's because coin grading is incredibly precise. A coin graded MS-60 is considered uncirculated, but it still may have noticeable marks. A coin graded MS-65 already looks nearly flawless. And by the time you reach MS-67 or MS-68, you are looking at a coin that is so close to perfection that only a tiny handful exist. For modern quarters, these grades are extremely hard to achieve. Now imagine someone finding a 1998 P quarter in this kind of condition, a coin that managed to escape circulation, avoid scratches, avoid damage, and maintain shining luster for more than 2 decades. That is the kind of discovery that collectors jump on immediately. It's not just about rarity, it's about survival. Out of billions minted, how many could realistically survive in pristine condition? Very few. Collectors love chasing coins like this because they represent the unexpected. Anyone can find an old wheat penny or buffalo nickel. But finding a modern quarter from the 1990s that is worth serious money? That is the kind of story people love to hear, and the kind of coin that becomes legendary. Think about where most 1998 quarters have been. Through vending machines. Through car washes. Through grocery store cash registers. Kids dropping them on the sidewalk, people using them in video game arcades, laundry machines spinning them around for years. Yet somehow, a rare handful escaped all that. Some were saved unknowingly in drawers, some set aside in rolls, and some protected accidentally by collectors who didn't realize the future value they would one day bring. Another reason this coin has grown in popularity is the modern collector boom. More and more people are searching their change, learning about coin grading, and sending their finds to companies like PCGS and NGC. Social media has made rare coins go viral, and the excitement of coin hunting has spread worldwide. People love the idea of turning pocket change into profit. And very few coins from the 1990s have as much potential upside as the 1998 P Washington quarter. But what really surprised the coin world is how high the top example sold for. Collectors expected these coins to rise in value, but no one expected the record-breaking amount that one pristine, nearly flawless 1998 P quarter brought in a major auction. That sale changed everything. Prices for other high-grade examples jumped dramatically. More people began searching rolls of quarters from the 1990s. Coin shops started receiving more requests for modern mint state quarters. The interest exploded almost overnight. So what should you look for in your own 1998 P quarter? Start with the basics. The date 1998 and the P mint mark above Washington's ponytail. Then examine the coin under good lighting. Does the coin still shine? Are the surfaces smooth? Are there very few marks? Look closely at the lettering around the rim. Sharp, crisp edges are a good sign. Flip the coin over and examine the eagle. The feathers should be distinct and detailed, especially on the wings and tail. If your coin looks exceptional, you might want to consider sending it to a professional grading service. A graded coin creates trust in the market, and it can dramatically increase your coin's resale value. Even a small jump in grade, say from MS-66 to MS-67, can mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars difference. Condition is everything with this particular quarter. Collectors and investors alike know that modern rare coins are becoming the new frontier of American numismatics. As more people discover these hidden gems, values continue to rise. The 1998 P quarter is now one of the standout stars of the late 90s mint issues, and it has gone from being ignored to becoming a highly watched and highly desired coin. And now, the part you've been waiting for. The highest known example of the United States of America 1998 P mint mark Washington quarter dollar, graded in stunning top-tier condition, brought a jaw-dropping auction price of $44,388. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that doesn't just shine with metal but with history, heritage, and the possibility of unexpected fortune. Many collectors search their entire lives for that one special coin, one that looks ordinary but hides a secret, a discovery capable of turning a simple quarter into a piece worth thousands. Today, we dive deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins circulating in American pocket change, the 2021 D mint mark crossing the Delaware-Washington quarter dollar. And trust me, after learning what makes this coin special, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. The year 2021 was meaningful for United States coinage because it marked a transition. After more than 20 years of the state quarters, America the Beautiful quarters, and various special edition designs, the U.S. Mint returned to a classic and iconic image for this one-year design: the heroic and bold depiction of General George Washington leading his troops across the icy Delaware River during the Revolutionary War in 1776. This dramatic artwork, detailed and full of motion, captured a moment of courage and determination, symbolizing a turning point in American history. While the reverse design is captivating, the true magic is found in the details, the minting variations, the condition, and the hidden errors that collectors are willing to pay high prices to acquire. The 2021 quarter minted in Denver, marked with the letter D, might seem like any other coin you'd find in a handful of pocket change, but coin collectors and experts know that modern coins can carry surprising value. Especially coins minted in huge numbers but struck with microscopic imperfections that make them rare. This is exactly why today's coin, the 2021 D crossing the Delaware quarter, has become one of the most researched and talked about pieces among modern collectors. Many people have already found this coin in circulation, completely unaware that theirs might be worth far more than 25 cents. To understand what makes this coin special, let's look closely at its design. On one side, we see the portrayal of George Washington like we've seen for years, but with sharper detail, redesigned to look closer to his original 1932 portrait. On the reverse, the heroic scene of Washington standing tall on a boat grabs everyone's attention. The swirling river lines, the soldiers rowing with intensity, and the historic atmosphere all make this coin stand out. But beyond its design, collectors search for variations in strike, luster, sharpness, and any slight minting anomaly that could turn it into something truly valuable. Many collectors focus heavily on the details around Washington's hand, the oars, the folds in the uniforms, and even tiny imperfections near the mint mark. A mint mark is the tiny letter on the coin indicating where it was produced. In this case, the letter D stands for Denver. And Denver minted coins are known for being struck strongly and clearly, which means that when a mistake happens, it's noticeable and valuable. These errors can include doubling on the lettering, a misplaced die mark, an improperly polished die, or even unusual metal flow lines. Collectors love imperfections because imperfections create rarity. And rarity creates value. One of the things that makes finding a valuable 2021 D crossing the Delaware quarter exciting is that this coin is still very new. That means the majority of them are still in pockets, piggy banks, grocery stores, cash registers, vending machines, and coin jars across America. Every day, people unknowingly hand over coins that could potentially be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars because they never stop to take a closer look. That is why videos like this are so important, not only for collectors, but for everyday viewers who might have treasure sitting inside their wallet right now. Now, when it comes to determining the true value of a 2021 D crossing the Delaware quarter, several factors are considered: condition, rarity, strike, and whether the coin has any unique features or errors. Condition plays a huge role. A coin pulled straight from a mint roll with no scratches or wear, what collectors call mint state, can sell for far more than a worn and circulated one. A perfect or nearly perfect grade by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC can easily multiply the value by massive amounts. That's why some collectors go through entire boxes of quarters looking for that one flawless example. Another key factor is what collectors call die varieties. These are slight differences from one batch of coins to another, caused by changes in the dies used to strike the coins. Some dies produce coins with sharper lines, heavier details, or unusual distortions that distinguish them from normal strikes. Certain 2021 D quarters have been discovered with doubling in George Washington's eye, odd marks near the legend lettering, and unusual texture variations in the river waves. All of these can increase a coin's desirability. The rarer the variation, the more collectors will compete to own it, pushing the value higher and higher. Another fascinating aspect of this coin is how it has gained rapid popularity among modern collectors. Usually, it takes years or decades for a coin to build value, but this one-year design has already become iconic. Its striking appearance and its status as a transition issue makes it especially collectible. People love owning a coin that marks the end of one era and the beginning of another. And because the Crossing the Delaware design was used for only a short period, its long-term collectability is almost guaranteed. Many viewers often wonder whether modern coins can really be worth thousands of dollars. The answer is absolutely yes. There are countless examples of ordinary pocket change being sold at auction for unbelievable prices, simply because the coin was rare, in perfect condition, or struck with an exceptional error. And the 2021 D-quarter is no exception. Auctions from the past couple of years have shown stunning results, surprising even seasoned collectors. That is why it pays to look closely, to understand the details, and to learn what distinguishes a valuable coin from a common one. Imagine discovering a simple quarter in your change that ends up being worth enough to pay for a brand new phone, a home appliance, a vacation, or more. These stories seem unbelievable until you realize how the world of numismatics works. It is built on passion, rarity, and history. And the 2021 D Crossing the Delaware quarter ties together all of these elements beautifully. It represents George Washington's bravery, the transition in U.S. coinage design, and the excitement of discovery all at once. As you examine your own coins, pay attention to the sharpness of the mint mark, the clarity of the river details, the positioning of Washington's sword, and the precision of the lettering. If anything looks unusual, distinct, out of place, or extremely sharp and flawless, you might have a treasure. Even a tiny variation invisible to the untrained eye could increase the value dramatically. That's what makes searching for rare coins so thrilling. You never know when you're about to uncover something extraordinary. Collectors today continue to search, grade, trade, and discuss the 2021 D-quarters across forums, online marketplaces, coin clubs, and auction houses. Some people have already submitted hundreds of these coins to grading companies, hoping that one will come back with a top-tier grade. And a small number have achieved it, resulting in prices that shock anyone who has never explored the world of collectible coins. So be sure to check your change carefully, keep an eye on the details, and never underestimate the value hidden in everyday objects. Because one single 2021 D Crossing the Delaware Washington quarter dollar, in extraordinary condition or with a special feature, has already sold for the impressive price of $49,266.